there is a new poll that just got released that once again shatters the entire myth of the Bernie bro. Thanks for tuning into this live stream segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Let's get started. So there is a new poll that just came out that surprisingly enough, Joanne Reed tweeted this out. Now, this poll, we'll pull it up in a second. This poll, interestingly enough, was done by Essence. For those of you who do not know, Essence is a black magazine. This poll specifically is talking about top democratic choices amongst black women ages 18 to 34. That's supposed to be, once again, I cannot stress enough, supposed to be Bernie Sanders' weakest demographic. At least that's the myth that they have been perpetuating since 2016, is that Bernie never reaches out to black women, that he never talks to black women, that he never tries to push for black issues, especially regarding women, even though his campaign co-chair is a black woman, and not just a black woman, one of the fiercest black women you could ever meet. Shout out to Nina Turner, or Nina Turn Up, depending on how she's feeling that day. But this poll shows something different. So this poll by the Black Magazine shows that Bernie Sanders is the top presidential candidate for black women ages 18 to 34. In second place, Kamala Harris, 17.1%, so a point behind Bernie. Elizabeth Warren is in third. Biden is in fourth. Beto's in fifth. Yang is in sixth. Donald Trump is in seventh. Oh man. Oh, Booker. Oh no. Poor Cory Booker. According to this poll, black women are thinking about voting for Donald Trump before they're thinking about voting for Cory Booker. Bruh, that's not a good look. That is not a good look. So once again, Bernie in first, Kamala in second, Elizabeth Warren in third, and Biden falling to fourth. Looks like Simone Sanders isn't, her presence on the campaign isn't helping as much as they originally thought it would. So the significance of this, like I said, it goes without saying that the Bernie bro narrative is clearly a myth. Even though Kamala is only 1 point behind, but well, I guess technically if you round it, she's 2 points behind Bernie in this particular poll. Her entire thing, right? Her entire brand was, I'm the black woman. Let me embody the idea of what a black woman should be or would be running for president. Let me take these experiences of black women that I've never actually invoked until I ran for president, and sell that, literally package it, market it, and sell it to the American people, and most specifically the black people that occupy the most necessary primary states if you're an establishment politician, which would be the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, because we went Birmingham and Mobile, Arkansas, and look, I'm missing one. Arkansas. Oh, Louisiana, especially Louisiana. So that's what Hillary Clinton referred to as a firewall. So she is not, this is her whole brand, is being a black woman. And she's losing to Bernie Sanders. She's losing to Bernie Sanders as far as being the number one choice for black women. This also shows, it kind of proves what I have been saying for quite some time. Ever since I worked with Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2015, I've been saying it's not that Bernie is weak with black people or that black people don't like Bernie. It's just that the majority of black people had no idea he existed. They had no idea of his past record on civil rights issues. They had no idea, because the media was going out of their way to keep Bernie's name out of their mouth. And by the time that black people had finally found out about Bernie Sanders, well, quite honestly, it was too late. Even though the turnover rate was really good for him when they meet him, it was like Hillary had already had it in the bag at that point. And let me be very clear about something. The fact that the media was going out of their way to keep Bernie Sanders from being associated with black people in any way, form, or fashion is a form of disenfranchisement of black voters. I want to be very clear about that. As a black man, a black man who came from a single mother, my mom, when I was, young, did not have the time to figure out, and cipher through all this nonsensical information to figure out somebody like a Bernie Sanders, or at the time when I was young, a Mike Gravel even existed. Like, so she, and then on top of that, she would have to hear his name first before she could even decide to do some research. But that's not what happened. In 2015, 2016, they refused to mention this man's name for the first 6 or 7 months of the campaign. And if they finally did mention him, they pretended like he was irrelevant. They finally did mention him, it was only next to Hillary Clinton to talk about how many more superdelegates he had. This also to me demonstrates that a lot of credit should be given to Nina Turner here. Unquestionably so. I do not think that it should be underestimated how amazing Nina Turner is, especially when it comes to politicking. Why do I say that? Because it is no coincidence that as Nina Turner takes over our revolution, they are putting up candidate after candidate after candidate after candidate. It is no coincidence that Nina Turner standing up to the establishment, the way she has been, and then, being attacked for it because they knew she would be impactful. It's no coincidence that standing up to the establishment has yielded the results that we have seen as far as Nina's popularity growing. It is no coincidence that Nina went to South Carolina for Bernie. That's what she did for a good 2-3 weeks straight. Went to South Carolina and campaigned for Bernie, and I think she's still there for the most part, and literally won dozens of endorsements from black leaders, legislators, and just different people in the black community all around South Carolina. I do not think that's a coincidence. At a certain point, Nina is indeed a firebrand. She is a brilliant speaker, and I don't think that can be denied either. But like, the woman makes her point so poignantly. She's so good at, her political savvy should not be underestimated. That's all I'm saying. And it cannot be overstated. Nina knows what the hell she is doing, and the proof is in the pudding. Once again, I'm gonna show you again. This is a black magazine, Essences, black publication. This is specifically about black women, and specifically, this is from ages 18 to 34, which is primarily the ages of millennials. So not only is Bernie reaching black women, but the black women that Kamala is trying to target, Bernie is dominating in the specific age range of the black women that Kamala needs to win. Mind you, once again, millennials are now the largest voting bloc in the country, and will absolutely have a huge impact once again on the outcome of this election. In order for Kamala to have had a chance to beat Bernie, she would have needed close to 70 to 80% of the black vote in general. Probably around 90 to 95% of the black vote as far as women are concerned. Because you need North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. She needed Florida too, to be real, but she could have gotten away with not winning all of Florida, just enough delegates from places like in Miami-Dade, Overtown, a little bit further south, Florida City, the area of Little Haiti and Wynwood. Like, she needed all those votes, and she also needed New Orleans. She also in Louisiana. Like, she needed as many black votes as humanly possible, reminiscent of what Obama did to Hillary in 2008. When he was about to be down and out, the black people came to his damn rescue, and he got 90% of the black vote and 99% of the black vote in the general election. Kamala isn't looking like she's going to get that, which means when you combine that with her falling in the polls in every other aspect of the race, she's done. She's done. Shout out to Tulsi Gabbard for ending her career. So this, like I said, this poll does, once again, two things, or I guess three things. Demonstrates Kamala's failure. It demonstrates what I believe to be the fact that the lack of authenticity coming from Kamala, everybody has been able to read it, especially the black women that she's trying to portray. It shows that the Bernie bro narrative is a myth, that this idea that the people who like Bernie are primarily, middle-aged white guys who are sexist. I'm not saying that there aren't sexist middle-aged white guys who like Bernie. What I'm saying is there are sexist middle-aged white guys that like Tulsi too. And there are sexist middle-aged white guys that like Kamala, I'm sure. There are a lot of sexist middle-aged white guys that love Elizabeth Warren. And same thing goes for Joe Biden. That's just the way our country is set up. The country is mostly sexist middle-aged white guys. I know what you want me to tell you. But it's the idea that there's nobody else that supports Bernie. That is a myth. And once again, I think that the third thing that we learned from this poll is that Nina Turner deserves a lot of credit. And I really, really hope that Bernie plans on taking care of her if he wins this nomination, because I know that she doesn't want to be the vice president. She does not want any parts of that. But nonetheless, she needs to be an intricate part of picking staff, of going around the country and campaigning against the senators or the congresspeople who refuse to pass progressive policies. And if you get her on the ground, she can win your reelection for you. 2 years into reelection, she can keep your approval ratings high. She would be a fantastic press secretary. And like I said, I just don't think it can be overstated just how much Nina Turner comes in early this time. And despite the smear still existing, right? The smears do still exist about Bernie. Nina has been on the ground winning black people over and telling them the truth about his record. And you're starting to see it directly translate into the polls. Cannot be overstated. So shout out to Nina Turner. Other than that, I would love to know what your thoughts are about this. Like and share the video and comment as well. And always remember, more than anything else, people, find your balance. Peace. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like that segment of Mikasa Sukasa. Also, you can help us upgrade the studio and take this show on the road to cover the on-the-ground politics that you love by clicking on that GoFundMe link in the description and donating literally anything. Anything helps. Also, you can follow us on Rockfin, on Twitter, and on Facebook as well. And hey, more than anything else, people, always remember, find your balance. Peace.